Includes the Islamic Center of Tucson. 9 on your side's Corey Marshall is live at the mosque near campus with more.
Jennifer, the Islamic Center of Tucson issued a statement saying the center, quote, condemns in the strongest terms the attacks that took place earlier in the U.S. consulate in Benghazi, Libya. Our hearts go out to the families of Ambassador Chris Stevens, his colleagues, and all the victims. We believe the perpetrators carried out a despicable act that was both foolish and criminal in nature, and hope that the Libyan government brings those responsible to justice swiftly. Also today, we spoke with former ambassador to Oman, who now teaches at the U of A, David Dunford, who knew Ambassador Chris Stevens and describes him as a rising star who will be deeply missed.
We don't have very many people like that, so he was the perfect guy to be in a tough job like Libya.
Like everyone else who knew Ambassador Stevens, Ambassador David Dunford says he was the right man in the right place. He spoke the language and, as others have said, was passionate about the Libyan people. But in a post-9/11 world, working with the people is only part of the job. Ambassador Dunford tells us the greatest struggle as a diplomat is carrying out your duties amid very real security issues.
Your first responsibility is to protect the American citizens in your country.
Usually an embassy or consulate is a safe place, but Tuesday's attack took place inside the main building, suggesting there may have been more to this.
More firepower than you would expect from a spontaneous demonstration.
The timing of the attack is suspicious, coming on the anniversary of September 11th and coinciding with the spark of outrage over an anti-Islamic video that exploded in neighboring Egypt.
Yeah, there's no excuse for the violence, but certainly extremists have exploited the anger of people to try to gain influence, to try to gain visibility.
While the ambassador says we need to wait and see what the investigation into all this reveals, he says those behind the video are not blameless.
I think they knew they were going to provoke anger, and they recklessly endangered not just the lives of diplomats overseas, but all Americans overseas, the lives of Egyptian Christians in Egypt, and maybe the lives of Muslims in this country, so I have no sympathy for them.
Right now, Dunford says the focus needs to be on unification.
You've got extremists on one side provoking extremists on the other side, and it's the people in the middle that really have to call a halt to it.
Now, as for the protests over the film, they are spreading across the Middle East. In Yemen, protesters briefly stormed the U.S. Embassy before being driven back by security forces. And in Egypt, where this all began, protests continue, with more than 200 reportedly injured. Reporting live, Corey Marshall, KGUN-9 on your side.
Corey, thank you.